Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexis, and on this channel I talk about important lessons and takeaways that I get from viral topics and viral conversations. The topic today is not going to be centered around one specific thing. I just want to talk about a few realizations that I've had to come to this year after seeing some viral stories or viral moments or things that I had to learn about myself in general. And I made this video specifically because we only have a few more days before the year is officially over. And I don't know about you all, but at the end of the year, I reflect on a lot of things. And now I have a YouTube channel where I can come share it with you all. Before I get into this, if you all would please go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe, comment, let me know you stopped by. I'm very happy to have you all here. And let's get into the video, shall we? First and foremost, one of the first and biggest things that I've learned this year is number one, women are still suckers for men. Maybe things don't look exactly the same as they did back in the day during the Hello Barbara, This is Shirley type of days, but we're not too far off. The reason why I even noticed this is that this year specifically, everywhere there was women I was going, I was focusing on just women in general. I consume more female content. Like usually when it comes to content that I consume, like content that I interact with, it's 50-50. Like I would try to be fair. This year I stayed in women's spaces and it wasn't easy. I got to realize that a lot of us as women are very male centered. I've seen the movement, like the decenter men movement, who became more about decentering men just to let men know that they're not important, which completely defeats the purpose of the movement because decentering men, you should just center yourself, right? That's just an example. I I've noticed that a lot of women in social media spaces who claim to be for women empowerment center men a lot. I had to walk away from women content creators who I just felt like their whole entire persona was being able to talk about men all day, and I hated that. And it wasn't like 100% centered around men. I just wanted to be around women. And then I quickly realized that it might not be as easy. It's very few women out here who just center women and focus on women and women only. It's very few women out here who want to see women grow for real. It's very few women out here who are ready to put in the work. It was a disappointing realization, but a realization nonetheless. And I think it's important when it comes to my own personal self growth to think about the type of people I want to subscribe to, follow, take advice from. When you're truly a girl's ghost, and I mean somebody who dissents from men, you realize very quickly how lonely you are and how it's hard to find your tribe. Next, it kind of ties into my first point, which is there's no real female solidarity. This year, I saw the lack of female solidarity. I saw the way people reacted when a lot of black women on social media said they were resting and how a lot of people were not happy about it, even though we deserve it the most. I saw a lot of women being angry when another woman was confident and was embracing herself. Next, this year taught me that people cling on to what makes them superior, and nobody's really trying to be equal. And I don't know about the rest of the world, but at least in the US, there's this idea of a melting pot. That's not really a thing. Like it's fake. People with white privilege always cling on to that white privilege. People with male privilege always cling on to that male privilege. You know, like contrary to popular beliefs, people are not trying to achieve equality. Let's say, for example, white men and white women stick together, even when it came to voting. But when you look into your community, you would see that a lot of the women there suffer from a lot of misogyny, but in a specific moment of voting, they're going to vote alike. But behind closed doors, those women have no reason to vote for that patriarchy because it doesn't benefit them either. I really hope people take note of that moving forward. When you have some privileges, you don't know what the people behind you or beneath you, quote unquote, are going through. A lot of people don't understand. So, for example, black men, they go through racism too, but a lot of them don't understand a damn thing as to what black women go through. And to be honest, they don't care. They don't care. Now, when something bad happens to them, we cannot talk about racism. But when it comes to treating the women of the community better, when it comes to understanding misogynoir, do they understand? Heck no. Next, health and wellness trumps everything. It doesn't matter what you're going through. If your health is not intact, you're in a bad position. It doesn't matter what you're going through. If your health is not up to par, you are going through it. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter what your house looks like. It doesn't matter what your car looks like. It doesn't matter what your relationship status look like. You know what I mean? None of those things can fix you internally. Physical health, psychological health, mental health, like all of those things combined trumps everything. Just remember, also thank the universe for your health. People are kind of ungrateful though. They take anything for granted. Next, you can be very normal presenting and still be an incel. A lot of us will picture them as ugly and fat in your mom's basement. And granted, some of them are, some of them are like that. They're unattractive looking, they're fat, they're smelly, pissy, living in grandmama's basement playing video games all day. Some of them are that way. But it's been very hard for me to let my guards down around anybody, men and women. I feel like when people think of incel behavior, they're thinking of a man who um doesn't like women because he can't get any, so he's violent towards women, and maybe other men will not feel threatened beside him. Yes, you don't feel necessarily threatened because you are a man and he's attracted to women. That's why he hates women so much. But at the end of the day, you're still around hate, and you never know when that hatred will be directed towards you. So incel behavior, incel mindset is dangerous to everybody, in my opinion. A lot of people take it for granted though. But when I was younger, I used to think that incels are just people who look weird as heck, forgotten people. When I started seeing all these podcast bros, like a lot of them look normal. Like a lot of them are guys that you see down the street. People who are very normal presenting, very pretty looking, can still be incel, walk around with a lot of hatred in the heart. Most incels are very normal presenting people. Maybe some of them are even nice to you down the street, but what they're saying behind closed doors or what they're doing behind closed doors, what they're hoping to do behind closed doors is out of this world. Next, this year I've learned that happy people are not on social media. I have gained a lot of confidence this year. I've also been one of the happiest I've ever been. Like, I've been at peace, and some things have been stressful, but overall, I've been at peace. I've been happy with myself, especially. I've learned how to forgive myself for some instances. I'm not as hard on myself anymore. And I've noticed that ever since I've gained this new confidence in myself, I do not post on social media. And it's tough because I myself would like to be a content creator, but it's hard when you are not seeking for other people's approval. It's hard when you don't really care. I mean, I still need to find it in me because content creation is something that I want to do, but I'm just going to say happy people are not on social media. I'm not saying that everybody on social media is sad. Please don't get me wrong. That's not the case. But a lot of people on social media are quite miserable. Not all, not all, just a lot. And yeah, ever since I've learned how to be happy with myself, I don't post much. A lot of people um who are away from social media are actually just out here living life. Next, something else that I've learned this year is that abiding by societal beauty standards will better your life experiences. Now, granted, beauty standards have changed a lot over the years. I feel like I see a little more variety, even though it's not perfect yet. Beauty is really still a big factor into the way people are treated. It's still a big factor into the way people are received and addressed and respected. And at this point, I don't think that would ever change. We run our mouths on social media about how everybody's beautiful, but behind closed doors, we're not practicing what we're preaching. Beauty standards are alive and well, and the people who fit the beauty standards just have better life experiences. They probably face their own issues, but at least from the outside, they have privileges. They're more likely to have a soft life in a way. Next, you cannot expect others to prioritize you at your own expense just because you would sacrifice yourself for others. And there's a lot of people who continuously give themselves out. They completely give themselves to a cause, right? They put themselves on the front line to save others. But then when it's time to pay them back, people do not invest energy into having your backs the way they deserve. I see that a lot with my community, specifically Black women. We give ourselves to help other groups. We give ourselves to help other communities. We put ourselves on the front lines for other people. And then when the time comes, those other people don't care for us whatsoever. But then we then turn around and we're offended and we cry about it. I hope moving forward, a lot of us will learn how not to give ourselves away or give any effort out to anybody, especially people who don't deserve it, because we need to save that energy for ourselves. Next, and this is the final take, a lot of us have privileges. Matter of fact, I think all of us have some level of a privilege. But we have a tendency of ignoring our reality, our privileges, or not really looking at how our glass is half full because we're too focused on how other people's glass are half full or just even 100% full. Most of us have privileges, even black and brown people, even women to a certain extent. I feel like a lot of us do have privileges that we just don't see. For example, even the privilege of being different is a privilege because when you are different, you have a better, higher chance of setting yourself apart from anybody else. And there's nothing anybody can do about it because you're unique and you're your own person. This would mark the end of my video. I might come back and do another video if I can think of other things, but for now, this is all I have. Please like, comment, subscribe. I am very happy to have you all here. Again, my name is Alexis, and I would happily catch you in the next video.